All right, Marshall here. I made the Sportsman, so I'm kind of excited. Miss Shannon and them, Mr. Jeff, they want me to sign it. My first autograph session, world. You heard me? I tried script. My script don't work out with the Martian, only my real name. So we're gonna go with the print. Where would you like me to sign it?
Sign it right next to your picture. Let's sign it maybe right over here.
All right.
First autograph. How you like that? To Shannon with love, Tyler.
Thank you. My first autograph.
Yay.
All right.
Yeah.
Boom.
Isn't that awesome? They're still available. That's the October issue, so y'all pick one up. He'll sign it for you too.
Yeah, the question, sir. What was that question again?
Is there a certain time of day that's best, or can you fish all day for speckled trout in this time of year in our area?
Okay. All right. Well, it depends what you're fishing for. We fish bass. Everybody know the Marshall fish bass. If you're fishing bass, I'm getting up early. I'm there for daybreak, blue, what I like to call it blue, right when it's transitioning, into daylight. And you have a better chance of catching your bass. They like to run a lot of top waters and stuff like that because they're real active on that. And it's calm in the morning time, so you're making wakes, you're making especially the presentation with the Z-Mans and stuff that I use. So you have a better chance in the morning and for bass late evenings. So you get a lot of reaction strikes, what I work off of for my bass fishing. But now the saltwater, you can go early in the morning. You might hit the redfish have a tendency to like to bite early in the morning down here. Don't know why, but they like to hit early. You can catch them through the day, more so through the day, or live bait, cracked crab, shrimp, those things, whatever you find. Speckled trout, I'll go 1 o'clock in the evening. My friend John right behind you. We've gone 1 o'clock in the hot summer. I mean it, boom. And you wouldn't believe it or not, we didn't have to go, what, John, baby? The furthest we went was to walk just to get away from the fish, because the fish were actually on the shoreline. We would literally throw the bait almost on the shore, and most of the shoreline, you don't believe it or not, the bait travels. Like a dog in your front yard, if he has a path he tracks, he beats that path down. The fish do the same thing. Okay, so close to the shoreline of the lake, all the way around, you have this little trough that might be a foot wide, 2 feet wide, the bait is still swimming. And man, we would cast, doop, and work it in that 1 foot range, catching 18 to 20 inch trout. You know what I mean? Well, they should have been out, I don't understand, because it was summertime, June to August, the speckled trout would spawn.
Oh, really?
Okay, so they're usually in deeper water. They're very rarely on the shoreline. That's why people in the summertime, they catch more redfish. Okay, because the redfish are hanging all over. They can handle the brackish water, the lower salt content. But the speckled trout, they like that high salt content. But the only reason speckled trout need high salt content is to spawn. All right? So, yeah. So that's why they come in, even in the fall, they come in to feed because they just finished spawning for the last 3 months. They're coming in to spawn. So they eat. They need to eat. They need to get their weight back up. That's why we catch little dinky 12s. And then you catch some 12s fighting like a horse. You're like, whoa, what I got? I got a good 15, 16. You pull up this little 12-incher belly. He's fat. He's been out. He's been eating. He probably spawned early. So today's seminar, we're going to cover fall fishing, world. All right, specks are spawning usually June to August. They're cold-blooded. So what happened the other day, we had this cold front plus today. It was hot. The best of it sweating, and then it's cold. So me and my dad went out yesterday and today, and it was tough fishing. I mean, really tough fishing. Everything changed. The mullet everywhere earlier. The bait is out earlier, but it moves in and out. If the water gets calm, the bait kind of chills and disappears. When it gets a little ripple, they've been moving back in. What I've noticed, especially when you get a little slight southerly wind, they've been moving back into the shoreline. But the speckled trout program to come in right now anyway. It's their time. Fall is their time to come in. So they're long. Okay, now why are they coming in? They're coming in to feed. What do we have an abundance of in the lake? Shrimp. Okay, so what shrimp's moving right now? Anybody know that? White shrimp? Why is white shrimp moving right now?
Oh, I have no idea. Just saying.
All right. Hey, white shrimp are moving because they're about to go spawn.
Wow.
Guess where your shrimp, white shrimp are hiding all summer? This is new to me too. I did the research. The shrimp are actually all hiding in the marsh. You wouldn't believe the shrimp are hiding in the marsh. New to me. I had to do my research because I don't like to come unprepared. But they're hiding in the marsh, so they start migrating. And they leave out of the marsh in the fall, the white shrimp. That's why we see the white shrimp. So they're moving out to go spawn. A lot of times you see them full of eggs. They're going spawn. And the fish are just there in the highways. We have a highway that they use. Okay, so where to start when you speckled trout fishing? Or your fishing period for saltwater in the fall. You need to pick a species. What do you want to fish for? What do you like to fish for right now in the fall?
Speckled trout.
Speckled trout? Okay, he's speckled trout man. Anybody rather chase redfish right now? Anybody rather chase the flounders?
Oh, hello, welcome.
Okay. Well, guess what? You gotta do what you gotta do to catch each species. Each species is different. Speckled trout do different things. From a redfish, it's different. From the flounder, it's different to the sheephead. They all move at different times and feed at different times. You catch them together, but it's a cluster once in the blue because they're chasing the same bait. Okay, but they all have different habits. In the summertime, what do we catch more? We catch more redfish along the shoreline. But the redfish are in the marsh. That's where they hang out the majority of the time, in the marsh. Then they come out to the lake. And what is the size limit for a redfish? 16 inches, right? 16 inches. And we catch slot redfish from 17 to 27 inches. Do y'all know a 27-inch redfish is still a juvenile? It doesn't mature until it hits 27 inches. So all the fish you catching under 27 are juveniles. They haven't even developed their reproductive organs to start mating. So you're really catching really kitty fish, even though they're 26 inches, look like a good bull red, you know. But he won't start doing his cycle until they're 27. So that's kind of important to keep the bull reds around because they actually are the ones that are breeding and repopulating. All right, so I thought that was pretty cool. All right, what about the brown shrimp? What we know about the brown shrimp? That's our summertime.
Right.
John been using the brown shrimp on us, kicking my butt a little bit on the brown shrimp and then on the last trip. He was using a voodoo weedless shrimp, regular brown shrimp. And he did good. I mean, for a while there, he slowed it down on me, and I move kind of fast. I'll show y'all the video in a minute. I move pretty fast with my bait because in the beginning, every time this year, I'm throwing out there, casting, using 1/8 of an ounce. I'll tell you that story in a second. I'm a dad, immediately switched today. Okay, 1/8 of an ounce jig head. Give you the exact name what it is, so y'all. It's the H2O Express Coastal Jig Heads. 1/8 of an ounce. Red eyes. It's only got one eye left because the fish took the rest of it. All right. I love to use an 1/8 of an ounce in the grass here in Lacombe. Even in the lower tide, I'll drop to maybe a 1/16 of an ounce. Due to the fact, right, Keith, you get tied up in the grass. Easy. If you go 1/4 ounce, all that, you're going down. You go 3/16, you're going down. The 1/8 of an ounce, you stand a chance pulling it through the grass to get a fish. Okay? True? Who started? Keith started with a double rig. What happened with the double rig, Keith?
Pulling up eel grass.
Eel grass.
Feels good to feel the bottom, but it's not worth it when you ruin each cast. with grass.
Right, when you fish in the shoreline, how the curvature of Lake Pontchartrain, you stay at a 4 feet consistency for a long time. And it drift, it'll go up and down through the hurricanes, bringing the sand in, you know, moving stuff around. Every year it's slightly different. But, you know, we locals, I've been here since 77. I've walked that lake from Goose Point to Flat Point. I know this about all the way around by the oak tree. I've walked that. I love the wave fish. So being stealthy walking up in those grass areas, I've noticed over the years where speckled trout are holding. You know, that's the key of being a local and really working it. Me, John, and a few of our buddies, we call ourselves the speckled dogs. We would go out there, 5 of us, and go fishing. And we catch fish. I mean, we catch fish. And I was a teacher. They come out of the house, and my daddy supplied 99.9% of the baits. I talk about them come shopping, but I'd be in the bag shopping with my daddy. He got all the baits. We 5 of us, we get jig heads and baits and everything, you know. As long as I had a pole, I figured I did my job, you know. But you know, later on you learn you need your own stuff. But we would get all the baits and we'd go fishing. And what was our favorite color, John, early in the fall? Red, white with the red tail. This is slam shady. This is something new though. I'm going to put y'all on in a minute. But the exposed hooks, we did very well with the exposed hooks, and we floated over the grass and catch the speckled trout in, out. I mean, you just have to pay attention to the bait and the time of the year. When it's cold, the fish are not going to be that far in. But due to how the hurricanes move a lot of sand in and out, you walk from the shore out. You're gonna go. You come back up. You're up. You go back down again. You get low. Then it come back up. You're out. You're like, whoa, I'm way out here. So all that to be said, when I'm maybe 15 yards off the shoreline when nobody thinks about fishing, there's a nice little canyon there that rides from maybe a block or two to where finally the wind and the water has pushed in the sandbar to cut it off. But there's pockets all over. And if you go around Flat Point, as soon as you go around, you come out the mountain to the bottom, you take a lake, you take a left. As soon as you get around Flat Point has some of the deepest pockets closer to the shoreline. I mean, it's really deeper. So if you got any common sense, you know, some wintertime and fall, you know, it get colder, you look for deeper water that by the shoreline. They're gonna hold up there. What do fish do when it get too cold and then they're not ready to go out? Where they go? Well, okay, yeah, y'all right, but what area would they populate? Where would they go? Bayou. Bayou in the marsh. Okay, the marsh holds some little ditches and holes too, believe it or not, that me and Dennis riding kayaks and you find a 10-foot hole and you're like, whoa, I didn't think that was back here. But the bayou, I've slaughtered speckled trout with my father, John, my friends, in that bayou, forever. We used to be blessed. Mother Nature changes things, and we know with all this global warming, all this crazy stuff, it's really changing. You know how we know? Dad can tell you. Every April, like clockwork, we bet money. I bet the house on the kids. The bait fish were moving in, the croakers and the white trout were moving in. Specks were moving in right behind that. Everybody's catching fish. Okay, bam, they move out in the summer. Here you go, beginning of fall. August, fish start moving back in. Here comes the bait fish. By October, we chasing speckled trout. November, World Series trout. Y'all don't remember saying back in the days, it was during the World Series you catch the mule trout. We go out there and catch 5-pound trout almost. That was the catch. You know, they from 3 to 5 pounds was your average size trout in the World Trout Series time. You don't see that like talking about it no more, man. Stuff has changed so much to where we're down to just fall now. We don't have a summertime or April bait come through where the fish come through and we have it. I don't know what has changed it, and we need to find out, because that's a drastic change from the fish coming in twice a year to only coming in once. Now I know spawning they have to do their things, but that's why the white trout, I guess, come in and croakers, they spawn maybe different times. I have researched the white trout and croaker. Why? I don't like white trout and croaker. I'm sorry, man. I hate them jokers. I don't want them. If we can run across the big ones, because he's a cut bait man. You ever fish white trout and croakers before? No? Well, if you ever get into them, you're having a good time, and you run out of shrimp, take y'all the white trout, small, skin him down, fillet him down, and use them as cut bait. Cut him in little 2-inch rivets, maybe 1/2 inch thick, and maybe cut the little part of it into a point. My favorite part is the belly, because the scale part of his meat, he's soft. You know, everybody knows white trout and stuff is real soft. But if you take him and you cut just that belly part, you cut him up that middle, and you make 2 little points on the belly and round it off, and you just hook the tag and let it hang like that. And you throw that sucker out there, you'll catch everything all day, even reeling it in. When you're trying to come in, you'll get a speckled trout hit it because it's moving more. But you're just throwing it out there for the white trout and let it sit. And how many times, Daddy, have we brought in a nice sized white trout like that, and you get a speckled trout like this that's mouthed it And you trying to pick both of them up in the boat, but he let go because he was just mouthing the fish. Like big bass, you catch a perch sometimes, and that perch will get swallowed up by big bass right before you pick him up. Same thing with speckled trout when you're fishing for white trout and them croakers. They eat that, you know, that's their dinner. And then they're regular swimming and you're reeling them in, so he's doing all kind of erratic, crazy stuff, so that triggers a speckled trout. You know, make him just say, I gotta bite him. I don't want to really bite. I wasn't hungry necessarily, but I can't pass this up, you know? That's where fish get food with reaction bites. Well, we'll get into that then. We'll touch on the glue.
Okay.
Oh, watch. Oh, no. Before we get into that, Miss Shannon, come here, please. Close your eyes on this side. Yeah. Close your eyes. Close your eyes.
Right.
Make him get it by the
Got
boss.
one.
All right. Let's see if I see these numbers. Everybody get the tickets out. I got 442036. Oh, what's that, Nelson? Yeah, my buddy. Hey, I'm sorry the devil didn't know.
I sold it, it was me.
1, 2, 3.
All right, one more time. Hold on, Miss Shannon. We got to do 2 more times.
Why don't we have the other lady come up tonight?
Okay. Oh, this is stuck. Nah, it wasn't gonna be.
But just don't look the other way, so you pull your own name.
Yeah, she's still
Somebody in the
qualified.
back complaining.
She's still qualified. Okay, where the old man spots at? There we go. All right, let's see. 442037. Nepotism, y'all. It's not nepotism. Trust me. Hold your face up. My friend and my dad, how they look.
1, 2, 3.
All right, let's sit down.
Gotta take care of
One more
you.
time. One more time. Look.
Now, if Shannon pops up with this one, we know something's going on.
Now I'm gonna pick this one.
Somebody keep. Magazine post. This is
He's only have a
I
ticket.
don't have to take it.
I
saw that ticket
No ticket for me. I'm
Still
done.
a big
I'm
key.
done a
442033. Oh. Hey! All right. This is on.
1, 2, 3.
All right, y'all. Sorry if you didn't win. Maybe next time. You know what? I'm gonna raffle off a mask. How about that? All right. We're gonna raffle off a Martian mask. How about that? Some of my people won already.
I ain't gonna win, so I'm good.
They can't think it's rigged.
442030. Hey! Got a winner! Right. And you're right. And you're right. Trying to get in there, everybody wins some. Okay, 442034. Hey! Winfield Marshall. Y'all come up. I gotta get a picture. Get a picture with both of y'all. My 2 winners.
We're gonna model them. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
All right. What y'all want to talk about? Somebody asked about secret sauces and stuff like that.
No, we were talking about super glue.
Super
glue, world. Super glue.
Now, y'all saw the video. I stopped, I took the bait, pulled the bait down, and put it on a shank. This is a bait I put super glue on 2 days ago. I mean, look at that. It would slide down. I put pretty good pressure on it. I'm almost about to pop this thing. And that was super glue gel added to the shank. So what I do, show y'all exactly what I do.
So it's super glue or Gorilla Glue?
It doesn't matter what actually
It's a
kind of
gel.
glue, it just long as it's a gel form. That's what you want, gel base, because the liquid glue is just gonna run. Our plastic bait, Z-Man on traditional, and I got my red eye jig head hook, the 1/8 of an ounce that I prefer to use. All right, so we're gonna thread it on. Go ahead and put it all the way on as normal. Always remember, if you're putting on a swim bait, minnow type bait, always the shank needs to come up, because if you turn it upside down, the paddle tails like that and has a tendency to swim crazy. You know, it's not gonna swim like you want it. People for years, I was victim too. Just so used to grabbing a sparkle bead and hooking it when I got a swim bait, didn't know no better, and was coming out the bottom. But it needs to come out the top for it to swim correctly. Now with the Z-Man plastic, you notice I put it on and then you grab it because it's not easy just to push on. It's pretty tough just to push on like a regular piece. So you grab it, pinch it, pull it. And that's pretty good. But eventually it's gonna slide off that the lead keeper. So what we do then, where the old man's went, there we go. We're gonna take the super glue gel and we're gonna pull it past the lead keeper. And we're gonna supply a little glue around the edge of that, which nothing don't wanna come out from my glue is acting crazy. And then all you would do is hurry up, push it back on, and that get it back to where you want. And I just actually give it a little squeeze all the way around like that right quick, and then make sure it sticks back to it, and it's gonna stay on there. You don't even have nothing on there, but it's still holding pretty tight with that glue. Ask Dad, how long we fish? 3-4 trips. I mean 3-4 trips. Before it usually comes off, unless you did a shoddy job of putting super glue, try not to just put it on top of the shank. You want to try to get it all the way around the shank as much as possible. Start at the top and get that little super glue go all the way around the gel. So that way you got control. That's where the gel comes in place. You got control of it. So you can slide it on and it's going to really hold in place. And bam. You all day, you don't have to worry about a fish pulling it down. You just worry about catching fish. All right? So that's the super glue. Now, on my jig heads, I love my red eye open jig heads right here, exposed. This is basically, that's a good jig head. The length of it, it's a little shorter than your normal jig head you get at Walmart, Academy, and them little round funny sizes. I don't care for them. This little curvature on it helps it bump and come up things instead of the squareness and roundness. It doesn't do as good as a job. This here has a tendency to ride up and hit things and bump off stuff a lot better. You reflect. Now, kill them on this. But now I can get to the story about my dad. All right, which one? All right, my dad was just this morning, or this evening, 10:30. I started out fishing. She made me change from red bone. The first one of the story is I was throwing this Houdini with this red dip tail. And I've been doing great. Me and Keith tore them up on this color. 2 days. My dad come in with this old Salt Strong. It's called Slam Shade. And I dipped the tail. We're going to get into that in a second. And I'm telling you, 4 fish right quick. I mean, maybe about 5-6 casts. He had 4 fish, and I'm and I ain't caught nothing.
I never outfished.
So, you know, we got a saying, you know, you want to be hard-headed, but you got to change. You know, you're going to change. So, I changed the bait and started catching fish. So, I kept exposed hook though, not knowing he was running weakness. And I know he's hard-headed. He likes to watch YouTube and find people from all over the world fishing, and he want to try to use their techniques. And see, they're not from Louisiana. They don't know, you know, it's different. So, okay, you know me, I'm the Martian. I'm the Michael Jordan of this fishing game, you know what I mean? But there you go, Michael Jordan pops. So, I'm out there. 14-inch key. Okay? That heat get on you, we call it that heat, that sun hard, getting you hot, so you're fishing quicker. You're fishing quicker than usual. Next cast, 13, 14 again, I'm out. What? I got the same bait, same everything. Same red dye, everything. But I'm moving a little faster. He's throwing it out there. I was fishing it like a worm. Bouncing what Johnson was doing the other day too. I didn't notice that either. I knew he slowed it down, but I didn't know what he was doing. And boom, Dad hits another. I'm like, I mean, I start fishing even faster. And I'm like, what the? When he hits the 4th one, whoop! I cut that sucker off of that. Man, where you got one of them hooks at? So it was actually voodoo shrimp.
Yeah.
We went and we took this setup off the Voodoo Shrimp, but you can get a regular. I don't even use these hooks. I swear I'm a regular a G-lock. Got my Katsu G-lock, man. With this weight on, it don't make no sense because I'm a Texas red guy. But it worked. And I put it on after he caught his fourth fish, and I put it on, and I changed mine. I did mine in the chartreuse to give it a little different look from what he was doing. First cast, guess what happened? Whoop. Caught me a nice 14, 15 inch speckled trout. And I'm like, get out of here. But you actually can throw this in the grass. Now you can skin hook them like this. Hooks, they still like to point up a little bit. What you do, world, you just pull back on your bait a little bit and whoop. Now you weave it. It'll still come through when that fish hit because it's soft enough and it's gonna rip through it. But that's what you do, you just skin hook it. Or if you do like me sometimes, I'll just go in the whole center of the bait. But that's for bass, because you need a little more stiffer rod to do that. So you just barely skin hook it so it will come out. Just do that little skin hook and that way you can throw it in the grass and just bounce it. I hope y'all learned a little something, y'all enjoyed yourself and picked up a few little tips.
Yes, sir.
Shoot, I thought I wasn't gonna have enough information. I got another page and most stuff to go. I had to cut it short. But
Okay, wait. What colors? What kind of colors do you
I didn't
use
get
in
into
fall
that color.
versus spring?
I took some of them down. Fall versus spring, speckled trout. Honestly, y'all, I can't give you big information on summer speckled trout fishing because I'm fishing for bass.
Right,
if
right,
they
right.
come in that marsh, they get in my way, they're in trouble. Now, people killing them, I go chase them. But I'm not big on chasing them. They come in my way, I'm getting them. But fall, I'm a majority speckled trout fishing, and your colors are brighter. So I had a pattern. I had a color pattern. I was want to show y'all how drastic the color pattern changed on me. It's called shrimp color. It's white with red flakes all in it. But I dyed it. It actually was touching other baits, so it picked up a little extra red dye. But I dyed it somewhat chartreuse with the red tail. And I was kicking Dan and John butt with that. You know what I mean? And then, in another day, the next day, that did all right. And my friend Mr. Pete had a LSU Matrix minnow on. And he busted my butt. And I was like, hold on. I was just whipping with this. And I was catching fish, but not easy as him. And he was just... So I changed to the Purple Death, and Z-Man, this same thing, LSU color one, is called Purple Death, and I dipped it in the red spike. I did pretty good once I did that. Now, fast forward again, next couple days. This is red bone, dipped in red tail. Now, if y'all notice something, I've been keeping dipped in red tail. We've been not clear water, but murky water. So the red tie on that tail has been just that little extra accent to make the fish grab it. Plus, if you know anything about spike it, it's got some garlic scent in it. So you got a little extra scent on that tail. So when that fish nibble by that neck, oh, that's tasty. He'll finish taking it. If he don't have no scent on dry bait, like he never, and they'll let it go. You wonder why, man, he bumped and let it go. You had a little taste on it for him, a little barbecue sauce on it. I mean, he might have held on. But then it went to the, from there, went to the guana daiquiri. How much I changed. And was catching fish on that. From there, I went to the shrimp po' boy. And then the last one, I can't find it. I must have dropped it. I had the Houdini. The Houdini dipped in red. It's like a red bone, but it's got more brassy and brownish red tint to it than the red bone. But they're very similar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Dark.
But those subtle changes, they wouldn't touch the red bone no more. Through the Houdini, they bust the Houdini up. Now, after I got on the Houdini, me and Keith bust him up on the Houdini. His daddy come. All the 3 packs of these slam shaders about a month ago. Oh, ain't Z-Man, oh, slam shader. You keep listening to them doggone people on the internet. Stop listening to them people. Like I said, the fourth fish, give me one of them slam shaders. You know what I mean? And I've been slam shaded for the last 2 days. Yeah, last 2 days. So that's where the marshal's at right now in the Slam Shady world. And ain't nobody paying me, but I'll let y'all know that's what I'm using. 1/8 ounce jig head if you're using 9-weedless traditional jig head, down to an 1/8. Because the lower the water gets, you put that slider jig head and you can stay on top of that grass and let it still get a fall. With the Z-Man, when it drop this, it drop it quicker. Because it's not as buoyant, so it
Right.
drop it quicker. But the Z-Man is buoyant, so it's slower fall. So those fish have a longer window to see it and react on it. Because they go like this, doof, it's gone, they're like, what that was? You know, it's in the grass.
Yeah.
When that Z-Man, they still seeing that tail and go get it. Don't say it's sitting in the sandbar. They just gonna go up and get it because it's sitting in the water, it's doing this here, like it's feeding. That's the science of Z-Man. Y'all need to check out Z-Man. Tell them to give him a cut the check. All right, well, I hope y'all enjoyed yourself. I appreciate y'all coming out. March, oh!